16 and 20 at the time of their arrests are being charged as adults. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
We are learning more about a SWAT situation out of Carbon County. It was early yesterday morning when a domestic violence call came in and a man barricaded himself inside a home. Carbon County SWAT team was able to convince him to come out peacefully. He was then taken to the county jail on several possible charges. KSL's top national stories. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is being questioned today by House investigators about her and her husband's associations with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has more from Washington.
As he kicked off 2 days of depositions, Republican Committee Chair James Comer made it clear.
We're not accusing Hillary Clinton of wrongdoing.
In a fiery opening statement, which she publicly released, the former Secretary of State said she'd never met Jeffrey Epstein, and she insisted she has no information to offer on his or Ghislaine Maxwell's crimes. Top Oversight Committee Democrat Robert Garcia says he wants a nonpartisan investigation.
And that's going to include ensuring that President Trump comes before our committee.
Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
An unsealed document from the Epstein files shows he may have gone out of his way to conceal certain pieces of potential evidence from investigators. The document shows that about 11 days before a 2005 raid of Epstein's home in Palm Beach, a private investigator confiscated computers with directories and other sensitive information. More now from ABC's Aaron Katursky.
The inventory list says the private eye removed 3 computers, a 3-page directory of Florida masseuses, and a photograph of a white female. There were also nude photos, sex manuals, and 29 telephone directories believed to hold Epstein's contacts of the rich and powerful.
To this day, they have not been fully recovered. First Look Traffic. Good afternoon, Michelle.
Good afternoon, Maria. We're looking much better. We had some delays earlier from debris in the road on I-215's West Belt, and then also a crash over in Cedar Fort. Right now, the biggest delay I'm seeing is Main Street in Spanish Fork. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:05.
Higher taxes, soaring inflation, record low interest rates, and the skyrocketing cost of health care. The list goes on. Retiring successfully today is a lot more complicated than ever before. Learn how you can tackle the biggest challenges that you'll face in retirement today. Don't miss a special edition of Retirement Solutions Radio. It's this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, right here on KSL News Radio 1027.
A warning on cryptocurrency kiosk scams from AARP Utah. Scammers are getting smarter, and Utahns are paying the price. Criminals are using cryptocurrency ATMs to commit fraud, stealing people's retirement savings and costing Utahns millions of dollars a year. Many scams start with an unexpected call, text, or email from someone claiming to be a trusted source, like your bank, a business you use, or even law enforcement. They'll tell you there's an urgent problem and instruct you to take cash to a crypto kiosk or ATM. They may even stay on the phone pressuring you to act fast and keep it secret. But once you feed cash into a crypto ATM, it's converted to cryptocurrency and sent to the scammer's wallet, and it can be almost impossible to recover. Remember, no legitimate organization will ever ask you to pay with cryptocurrency. Learn more at the rising cost of cryptocurrency scams by visiting aarp.org/UT. A message paid for by AARP Utah.
Thank you for joining us for Midday, recapping our top story. The Salt Lake County Sheriff says they are seeing a recent spike in complaints about ICE agents showing up inside courthouses without identifying themselves. KSL News Time, 12:07. Those of you that frequent South Salt Lake could be dealing with extra detours and traffic for several months. South Salt Lake Communications Manager Joseph Dane says that they've closed 300 East near 3100 South to rebuild the bridge, forcing traffic onto 2nd East, 5th East, or State Street.
Sometimes I do believe it's going to cause more congestion in the neighborhood temporarily, but it's possible it can make State Street just a little bit busier.
This will also affect traffic around Granite Park Junior High. This project was made a priority after the 300 East Bridge received a poor rating by UDOT. Construction is expected to be finished up in May. The $20 million project to revamp Pioneer Park will start tomorrow. It includes the addition of a pavilion, maintenance building for park rangers, restrooms, and a promenade. Now, it will also feature lots of places for children, including an accessible playground, mist fountain plaza, pickleball court, basketball court, and a dog park. It's expected to be completed later this year. Students, parents, and alumni rallied together this week to save West High School's American Sign Language class after the school district announced plans to cut it. An online petition to keep the class received 1,000 signatures. Students even organized a rally this week in protest, leading to the district reversing their proposal yesterday. Ben Tribe, who took Ms. Paul's ASL class for years, says he was disheartened with the news of a potential cut.
When I got on and saw that they walked back their decision, it just was relieving, and I just felt for Miss Paul and how relieved she especially must feel.
Ms. Paul expressed her gratitude for the support that she received in a Facebook post. Traffic and weather together. It is brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
I-15 running at posted speeds, as well as the belt route. Also looking good if you're making your way through Parley's Canyon. A little bit of slow and go traffic on Pioneer Crossing. This is in the Lehigh area, and then headed over to the Cedar Fort area on Cedar Fort Road. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're drying out today, and the clouds will slowly start to move out as well. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 58, running above average. Then lows tonight in the upper 30s, even warmer as we head into the weekend. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
Right now, we're enjoying sunshine, 52 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. Coming up on Midday with Maria Shilaos. We'll hear more from the Salt Lake County Sheriff, Rosie Rivera, about complaints regarding ICE agents in courthouses. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
There's something about this time of year when it's easy to get the blahs. The holidays are in the rearview mirror. Even Valentine's Day is in the rearview mirror. It's time to put a little sparkle in your life, and that's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And here along the Wasatch Front, we have 2 locations. Hotel Park City. If you're up enjoying a day of skiing, wrap up that day with a delicious meal at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And then, of course, there are great fun activities that are happening in downtown Salt Lake City, sporting events, movies, you name it. And again, right there at 275 Southwest Temple, there's a Ruth's Chris Steakhouse waiting for you. The food is prepared perfectly and delivered on that 500-degree sizzling plate. Whether it's a steak, poultry dish, seafood, everything cooked to your expectations at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. And the side dishes and the desserts, they are simply legendary. Downtown Salt Lake City and Hotel Park City, Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus an extra $100 off all mattresses. And Saturday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
Affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General, at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
KSL News Time, 12:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah's Medicaid program dished out more than $24 million in payments that weren't allowed because the recipients were enrolled in other states, according to a new audit. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, a 16-year-old boy has been convicted of murdering an 18-year-old at the Mount Olympus Trailhead in the summer of 2024. Third, traffic and weather together, Michelle.
Overall looking good, seeing minor slowings northbound I-15 right about 33rd South. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
A mild day today, partly sunny skies with a high of 58 degrees. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
Sunny, 52 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The deposition of Hillary Clinton today in the House Oversight Committee's Jeffrey Epstein probe was paused temporarily this past hour. It's since resumed, and it comes after a photo was apparently leaked showing the former Secretary of State testifying, which is against the committee rules in the closed doors. Earlier, Hillary Clinton releasing her opening statement saying that she did not meet Epstein. Former President Bill Clinton will answer questions tomorrow. ABC's Rachel Scott is in Chappaqua, New York.
The Clintons have long resisted this type of investigation and speaking before this committee, declaring the committee subpoena legally invalid. But after Republicans moved to try to hold them in contempt of Congress, they quickly reversed course and decided to show up here today.
GOP House Chair James Comer says neither are accused of wrongdoing. The U.S. is working to verify information about 4 people killed on board a Florida-registered boat yesterday following a shootout with Cuban troops in the waters off Cuba. 6 others were injured. ABC's Louis Martinez has details.
What we are finding out is through a local police report in the Florida Keys that the individual who actually owned that vessel that these men were aboard, that he was interviewed, he reported a theft, that his boat had been stolen at some point, and the reason that he went and found out that his boat was stolen because he started receiving media calls from the press inquiring about the registration number that had been reported yesterday by the Cuban authorities.
The White House confirms President Trump will host New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani this afternoon. Both are expected to focus talks on ways to better New York City. Authorities are investigating another stowaway attempt by Svetlana Dali. She's currently in custody in Italy after boarding a United flight from Newark, New Jersey to Milan without a boarding pass. Dali was previously convicted in Brooklyn federal court of being a stowaway on a Delta Airlines flight out of New York's JFK Airport to Paris in 2024. You're listening to ABC.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. The Salt Lake County Sheriff, Rosie Rivera, says that they are seeing a recurring issue with ICE officers showing up to court hearings in plain clothes with no identifiers. She addressed these concerns in a county council meeting.
We contract with the courts, and we're obligated to follow their protocols while we're in the court. And they have protocols for these type of situations. We have asked them to take a second look at those protocols because there have been some issues with the way that it's being conducted. Part of the problem is ICE is showing up in court. They have no identifiers. They're in plain clothes. They're wearing masks. We don't know who these people are either. So it has become a problem. So one of the protocols that the courts have given us to abide by is that we do deal with the individuals who ICE are there to make an arrest, that we do our best to keep everybody safe.
She says they are also reminding ICE agents that the county sheriff's office is not there to do their jobs, but they will work with them. As of right now, the county sheriff's office does not have an agreement with the department. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Michelle, what's happening?
It's looking really good out there right now, Maria. Just seeing a little bit of slowing for drivers making their way northbound I-15 right around 33rd South. I don't really see a cause for that, but I do see a car that is off to the right on the off-ramp if you're going eastbound at the interchange at the Spaghetti Bowl to go toward Parley's Canyon. Now, for drivers on I-15 in Utah County, that's running at posted speeds. Just a little bit of slowing on Main Street in Spanish Fork. Don't miss the Epson Tour at Copper Rock, May 14th through the 16th. Preview LPGA Next Gen Rising Stars on a breathtaking, challenging course. For stay, tickets, and information, visit it CopperRockChampionship.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your KSL 7-day forecast, partly cloudy today, a high of 58 degrees. Warmer temperatures, more than 10 degrees above average the next few days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Highs in the low 60s, lows in the low to mid 40s. We'll have mostly cloudy skies this weekend. Slight chance for a little bit of rain on Sunday. Then more rain Monday, cooler, a high of 57. And then a chance for a few lingering showers Tuesday with maybe another system moving in late Wednesday. Highs, though, stay warm. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
Sunny and 52 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. And the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Quick check of the markets. Seeing a lot of red today. I guess it couldn't be in the green all week long, right? We'll check your money news coming up next.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
My friend Joey loves to use old familiar sayings.
You know what they say?
The problem is,
don't look at a gift horse, cause you can't make them drink.
He gets a lot of them mixed up.
People who live in glass houses,
here it comes,
shouldn't cry over spilt milk.
There are also a lot of sayings in the financial world, like, you'll pay lower taxes in retirement. But for many people, it's just not true. You may have done a great job saving in that 401k or IRA, but Uncle Sam is ready to grab a big portion of that money. The team at Galileo Wealth Management can help with strategies that you can start now to lower your tax bill in the future. More for you and less for Uncle Sam.
Or as they say, an apple a day is worth two in the bush.
Get the facts on your tax bill in retirement. Call Galileo Wealth today at 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online at GalileoWealth.com.
And remember, a stitch in time keeps the doctor away. It does, you know.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I pushed through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
KSL News Time 1224. A new star has joined the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog 4. Kristen Bell will be the voice of Amy Rose, the pink hedgehog with a big crush on Sonic. She joins Tails, Knuckles, and Shadows as sidekicks. You'll have to be patient, though. The 4th movie isn't slated to come out until March of 2027. Watching Utah's Money. DoorDash is leaving 4 countries, saying it wants to focus its investments in places where it can build sustainable and long-term market leadership. Those countries include Qatar, Singapore, Japan, and Uzbekistan. Tariffs are still causing big issues for car sales, including the Aston market. The luxury automaker says it's planning to cut 20% of its workforce. Fox Business reports that's not the only cut. The company is also putting off investing into electric options for now. Panera is joining the meal deal battle, announcing a new value menu under $5. It joins other fast food moguls that recently saw success from doing so, including McDonald's, Taco Bell, and Wendy's. The latest company to get into the AI craze is Burger King. ABC's Mike Dubusky has more.
The home of the Whopper is now launching Patty, a new AI assistant for employees. Using a headset, Burger King workers can ask Patty how to make certain menu items or get reminders.
Looks like the women's restroom needs cleaning. That's very helpful, Patty. I'll get to it right away.
Patty's also designed to listen in on workers' interactions with customers, even tracking how often they say please and thank you.
The team's friendliness scores this morning were the highest this week.
Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
What if Jurassic Park really existed? Well, you would need a reliable mobile connection to keep you online at the park. With Xfinity Mobile, you have Wi-Fi where you need it and 5G everywhere else. Whether you're live streaming a T-Rex feeding or downloading park maps when you're lost in the Gallimimus Run, you can stay connected with Raptor fast speeds. Xfinity Mobile is there for you at home and at the park because it was born ready for you to roam. Xfinity. Imagine that. And now you can cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. That's xfinitymobile.com and watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More Verizon Unlimited Plus and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26 taxes fees extra.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a 3rd-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure My Social Security account is a part of your plan.
A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
We have a fresh crash northbound I-15 just prior to Center Street in Provo. It has now been moved over to the left shoulder, but there is some delay as you're backing up toward Provo Town Center. Elevate your dining at the Roof, now serving lunch and dinner. Enjoy city views and cozy favorites like signature steak, pork, or salmon entrees. Visit theroofslc.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're drying out today, and the clouds will slowly start to move out as well. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 58, running above average. Then lows tonight in the upper 30s, even warmer as we head into the weekend. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
A lot of sunshine in downtown Salt Lake City and 52 degrees.
You're listening to Midday with Maria Shilaos
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, KSL News Time 1230. KSL's top story this hour.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
Lawmakers are recommending a bill that would hold platforms responsible for deep-fake intimate images posted to their sites. KSL News Radio's Don Brinkerhoff begins our team coverage Eye on the Hill 2026.
The bill is being sponsored by Representative Ariel DeFay.
The first thing the bill does is that it requires platforms to obtain consent if you're going to deep fake an intimate image of somebody else and publish a deep faked intimate image on a platform.
She says the second thing the bill requires is for platforms to post the information about what was changed in the image. That way people can know for sure that it is an AI altered photo. May Kennedy with the Abundance Institute says they support what the bill is trying to do, but not how it's trying to do it.
It creates a state-level technical mandate for AI provenances. The internet doesn't stop with Utah borders. 50 different state standards will fragment compliance and discourage startups from operating here.
The bill passed a committee this morning, but some members asked that it be refined before final passage. Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
In the nation's capital right now, Democratic lawmakers are speaking out about the Epstein files and Hillary Clinton's deposition today in committee. Let's listen in right now. They are very upset with what happened when Republican lawmakers released a photo of the former Secretary of State.
Russum says the deposition was paused
to the truth and holding anyone accountable. I also want to talk about the reporting from this week and the fact that we now know that the Department of Justice, in their ongoing cover-up, the most egregious cover-up in American history, intentionally seem to have redacted more or withheld more than 50 pages of allegations from a minor against President Trump. Do not forget that Kash Patel went in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee and said under oath that the FBI had no credible allegations of any other people being involved in this child sex trafficking operation. These documents that the Department of Justice intentionally has withheld from the American public in regard to the allegations against President Trump came from the FBI. The FBI had interviewed this witness 4 times. You do not do that if it is not serious. So Kash Patel needs to be immediately brought back before the Oversight Committee. He needs to answer these questions again, and we need answers immediately. Again, America is watching. Young people in this country are watching to see if powerful people will continue to protect other powerful people and whether or not Congress will actually hold these perpetrators accountable. Thank you.
And that is Representative Yasamin Ansari from Arizona. She's a Democrat. The Democrats are calling for lawmakers to release all of the Epstein files, calling for the Department of Justice to release all of the Epstein files, and also voicing their concerns about Hillary Clinton's testimony earlier today before the committee, saying that Republican lawmakers released a photo of her after telling the Secretary of State and her people that that would not happen. A bill banning cell phones during all school hours in Utah only needs one more vote in the Senate before it could become law. The bill passed through the House of Representatives with a change that will allow some students to use their phones outside of class and also allows an exception for using the Safe UT app during an emergency. Although it passed, 21 Republicans voted against it, including Representative Troy Shelley.
It absolutely oversteps the local school boards.
Those for the bill say phones are a huge distraction in class and prevent learning. A bill that would ensure fines paid for defacing natural and archaeological sites is going forward in the legislature. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis continues our team coverage.
Public defacing and destruction of natural and historic features like hoodoos or petroglyphs only seem to be increasing every year, says bill sponsor Representative Stuart Barlow. He says there needs to be a culture of integrity. Representative John Arthur says as someone who grew up looking for these historic sites, he appreciates the bill.
With this fund, the fines incurred will be used specifically within those localities to repair the harm done, and then also ultimately to build in that educational piece that will hopefully prevent more of these from taking place.
The bill will also encourage public reporting by creating a reward system similar to the state's Help Stop Poaching program. Currently, fines paid from the destruction of these sites are not required to be used specifically for the restoration of the site. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
KSL's top national stories. A federal judge in D.C. has turned down a request to halt construction of the White House ballroom.
Even as he denied a request to order a halt to the ballroom's construction, Judge Richard Leon said arguments against the project are novel and weighty. For now, Leon says he can't act based on the initial claims raised by the National Trust for Historic Preservation. But the judge said he would expeditiously consider an amended filing focused on whether the president has gone outside the law in raising private funds for the ballroom. At a hearing last month, Judge Leon called that plan a Rube Goldberg contraption designed to evade congressional oversight.
That is ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy. Other national stories KSL is following. The mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, is making a trip to Washington today. ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers has the latest.
The White House confirms that President Trump will be meeting with New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani this afternoon at the White House. The meeting comes after the president, in his State of the Union address, praised the mayor as, quote, a nice guy, who he claimed to speak with a lot. When asked this week about his conversations with the president, Mamdani said he'll keep them private, but did say that when they talk, the conversations always focus on how to better New York City. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
First look traffic. What's happening, Michelle?
The crash northbound in Provo approaching Center Street, that has caused some sizable delays at the moment because they had to stop all lanes of travel to get some debris out of the road. The lanes are back open, but the delays are still there. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL News Time, 12:35.
Many people worry they're not making the right investment choices inside their 401ks. Did you know that you might have a little-known opportunity to add some additional investment choices to your 401k and get the help and recommendations you've been looking for? This exciting feature is called a self-directed brokerage window. And the best part? The money still stays within your 401k. Learn how the trusted advisors at Capital Wealth may be able to expand your investment portfolio. To learn more, call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Improving your 401k might mean the difference of retiring a few years earlier. Let's find out. Schedule your no-cost 15-minute consultation with the Capital Wealth team today. Call or text the word VISIT to 801-877-9800 or go to CapitalWealth401k.com. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer. Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times. Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants? These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Michael from the Warren Treaty. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA-approved Ozempic. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5 milligram, 1 milligram, and 2 milligrams.
Thank you for joining us for Midday. We are following a story out of the nation's capital at this hour. We've been telling you about a news conference where Democratic lawmakers are calling for the full release of the Epstein files from the Department of Justice. They are also now calling for, as you might know, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was deposed today. I shouldn't say deposed. She was asked questions by a committee about her involvement with Epstein, and the Democrats are now calling for Republicans to release the full transcript of that closed-door meeting. They want to know what questions were asked of the former Secretary of State, and they say the public deserves to know what her answers were. KSL News Time, 12:38. One person was killed in a rollover crash in Millard County. Utah Highway Patrol says 3 men were in the vehicle on I-15 when it hit the median and rolled. 2 passengers were ejected, 1 died. The other 2 men were critically injured and had to be airlifted from the scene. Utah Avalanche Center is getting the word out. Danger remains high in the backcountry following the storm that just passed through. They say stay away from steep terrain and run-out zones in the mountains. The safest place to be is at the resorts. Just a heads up for anyone wanting to hit the slopes today. Alta says their parking lot is full, and anyone who wants to head up needs to take the bus. Utah lawmakers want to make Good Friday a state holiday. KSL News Radio's Isabella Sosa has details.
Senator Kevin Stratton is sponsoring Senate Bill 193, the state legal holiday amendments. It would require schools and government employers to prioritize breaks and days off for Good Friday and other state holy days. During a Senate Revenue and Tax Committee meeting, many spoke in favor of the bill, saying other states already recognize Good Friday, and this bill would not establish one specific religion.
The bill passed the committee by a vote of 3-1. Beginning tomorrow night, the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square will perform a series of concerts in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Now, as they prepare, they got some encouragement from the Reverend Dr. Amos Brown, pastor emeritus of the Third Baptist Church in San Francisco.
I discovered in later years that there were 2 hymns that unified the black experience and the experience of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Reverend Dr. Brown says one of those is the hymn, Come, Come Ye Saints. In a video released by the church newsroom, he says he loves the verse, Our God will never us forsake. Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
The crash in Provo, northbound I-15, still causing trouble as you're approaching Center Street. They do have the HOV lane blocked now with a big fire truck, so everyone's having to squeeze over. The delays aren't too bad. They're only back to about Provo Town Center. Now, if you're headed further north on I-15, there is a crash. This is right about 33rd South, and it is off to the right shoulder. Again, that's not causing any delays. And then one last crash. This is in downtown Salt Lake, 500 West, 13th South. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
The showers are moving out and the clouds will continue to move out as well. We'll see partly cloudy skies this afternoon, a high of 58 degrees, low 60s for Friday, and lows at night in the upper 30s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
Right now, a lot of sunshine in downtown Salt Lake City and 52 degrees. Coming up on Midday, we'll hear more about kids and makeup. Cosmetic companies are increasingly marketing their products to young children, and some parents are worried it could foster a premature obsession with physical appearance. That's coming up, streaming live at KSLNewsRadio.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. We are Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You still
thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
KSL News Time, 1245. The 3 things you need to know this hour. First,
Salt Lake County Sheriff says complaints are increasing about masked ICE agents making courthouse arrests, prompting calls for clearer coordination and protocols. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera.
Second, a new bill will create a fund to repair damaged natural features on public lands. The fund can also be used for public education on conservation. Third, traffic and weather together, Michelle.
Still working on this crash. Northbound I-15 approaching Center Street in Provo. Parts of it are still off to the left, causing some delays in the area. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
We're drying out today, and the clouds will slowly start to move out as well. Partly cloudy this afternoon with a high of 58, running above average. Then lows tonight in the upper 30s, even warmer as we head into the weekend. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
Sunny, 54 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Time now for KSL's top national stories from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. North of New York City, the behind-closed-door deposition of Hillary Clinton has resumed. That after a pause earlier today. Clinton answering questions in the House Oversight Committee's investigation of Jeffrey Epstein. Former President Bill Clinton will be deposed tomorrow. ABC's Perry Russum says the deposition was paused briefly after a photo went public.
The deposition was stopped. It was paused after it appears a picture was leaked from inside the room. We do know that there is a picture circulating online. It appears to show Hillary Clinton sitting at a square table alongside her lawyers and the lawmakers as well. So any picture being released from inside the room, that is against committee rules.
Nuclear talks resuming today in Geneva between the U.S. and Iran, trying to finalize a deal as the U.S. builds up military forces in the Middle East. House Democratic leaders say they'll force a vote next week on a bipartisan Iran war powers resolution. On Wall Street, stocks are down this hour. This is ABC News.
Time now for the KSL In-Depth. Increasingly, more and more companies are targeting children with makeup products, and it's prompting concern with parenting experts. ABC's Hannah Battah has more.
The debate over how young is too young for makeup. According to the Wall Street Journal, cosmetic companies are increasingly marketing their products to children born after 2010. But it's not just young teenagers turning to makeup. It's kids, 6 years old or younger.
These kids are growing up watching Get Ready With Me videos, skincare routines, and Sephora hauls on YouTube and TikTok. And of course, they see their mothers, older siblings, influencers, and mimicry is developmentally normal at this age.
Brands such as Clean Naturals, which sells low pigment makeup aimed at children between 5 and 7 years old, says they've seen significant growth since 2024. And skincare company Ever Eden, which markets moisturizers and other skincare products for kids as young as 3, reported about $100 million in annual sales.
For some families, it really is framed as dress up, self-expression, or even bonding time. But many experts are worried about that appearance obsession, anti-aging messaging trickling down.
As for skincare routines, while manufacturers insist their products prioritize safety and wellness over anti-aging, many medical experts and parents worry early exposure to skincare regimens could foster a premature obsession with physical appearance.
Ask your kids, why do they want this makeup? What do they like about it? Is it just to be creative, or is it something deeper? Is it tied to their self-worth? And then you have to also set boundaries. Decide, if this is something that is special occasions only, or if you're going to let your child wear it daily, or if it's something that just happens during playtime at home.
Doctors say makeup is not advised for most kids because they're sensitive skin.
We will have more with a licensed marriage and family therapist later in the show. Stay with Midday to hear that at 1:30. Traffic and weather. It is brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
A couple of crashes northbound I-15. The first is as you're approaching Center Street in Provo. Parts of that are still off to the left shoulder, and there has been some on and off delays in that area. Continuing further north on I-15, there's another crash. This is just south of 33rd South, and it is off to the right, and they're working on trying to get that one cleared as well. Other than that, things are running at posted speeds on I-15. Whether you park it, stripe it, or pave it, GoPave Utah has your blacktop covered at GoPaveUtah.com. That's GoPaveUtah.com. Call or visit GoPaveUtah.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
The KSL 7-day forecast shows warmer temperatures ahead, upper 50s today, then low 60s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll see partly to mostly cloudy skies over the next several days with lows in the low to mid 40s. Slight chance for rain on Sunday. Then we will start off the work week next week, Monday, with rain and a high of 57. Showers could linger into Tuesday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And right now, 54 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City. And this 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
This weekly tax tip is brought to you by the Utah Association of Certified Public Accountants. Here's CEO Susan Spears.
Hey tip earners, if you work in restaurants, rideshare, salons, or any job where you earn tips, there's a new tax break you need to know about. Starting with your tax return you'll file this year, the new law allows a federal income tax deduction on qualified tips. Taxpayers may deduct up to $25,000 in qualified tips with phase-outs for higher income earners. Keep in mind, only voluntary tips received directly from customers qualify. Service charges or automatic gratuities do not. Payroll taxes like Social Security and Medicare still apply, but this can significantly lower your federal income tax bill.
Get the most out of your income tax preparation when you hire a licensed CPA. Visit uacpa.org to find a CPA that's right for you. And check out new tax tip videos by following on social media at Talk to Your CPA.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products, and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
We have locations in Farmington, Riverton, and Sandy.
If you've ever set New Year's resolutions before, you know how difficult it is to follow through because you have to wait to see the results. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and in honor of your New Year, New You resolutions, Any Hour Services is having our New Year, New System sale. From now until the end of February, Any Hour Services will give you $2,026 off a new furnace and air conditioner. And you don't have to wait to save the money. You get $2,026 off at the time of purchase. The only thing you have to do to qualify for our New Year, New System sale is call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. When you call, there's no obligation to buy. Just schedule a time to meet that works best for you. Let me say that again. From now until the end of February, when you have Any Hour Services install a new furnace and air conditioner, we'll give you $2,026 off. Call Any Hour Services right now and schedule a free estimate. 801-443-7400. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KSL News Time, 12:54. Ashley Madison, the famous dating website known for extramarital affairs, is rebranding. The company will ditch their tagline, "Life's short, have an affair," and instead focus on what they call discreet dating with the tagline, "Where desire meets discretion." The company has been the center of many scandals, especially after its data was stolen and leaked back in 2015. But now the website says it wants to help people keep their dating lives private, rebranding their app. Watching Utah's Money, Johnsonville and Keurig Dr. Pepper are partnering. It's not for a sausage-flavored soda, it's for a soda-flavored sausage. Ooh. USA Today reports the brand will launch a sausage inspired by the soda's 23 flavors. Apple is launching a new age verification tool for the App Store. It will ensure users are at least 18 years old and comes after pressure from multiple states and countries. It will roll out in a select few areas, including Utah. Fox Business reports the tech is still in beta testing. Check your fridges. Cottage cheese sold from Walmart is now being recalled over concerns that it was not properly pasteurized. It was sold under Walmart's generic brand, Great Value, and it's being recalled in 24 states, including here in Utah. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the markets have been in negative territory for most of the day. However, the Dow is now in positive territory, up by 55 points, sitting at 49,537. S&P, though, is down by 35. The NASDAQ down by 270 points. That's about 1.25%. Nearly 25 years after the September 11th attacks, the World Trade Center's final office tower will start construction soon.
It's the final of 4 office towers in the master plan for rebuilding the World Trade Center site that was developed in the years following the attacks of 9/11. For decades, 2 World Trade Center met a number of false starts, and by 2012 only rose to ground level. Now the announcement that the project is back on track with a new design. The 55-story building will be the new headquarters for American Express. Completion expected in 2031. Dave Packer, ABC News, New York.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, We say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
KSL News Time, 12:59. Traffic and weather. It's brought to you by UCCU. Up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
We still have remnants of the crash northbound I-15 just prior to Center Street in Provo. That is still off to the left. Now, the other crash further north on I-15, just south of 33rd South, that is cleared. You're seeing really good speeds on I-15 across the Wasatch Front. Arrive in style for all of life's events, from the first suit to the first dance, preparing to serve or starting a life together. Every age, every milestone for nearly 60 years. Mr. Mack, helping you look your best for all of life's events. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looking at a high today of 58 degrees, but we are up into the 60s for the weekend. It looks like Monday things change quite a bit with a 50% chance of showers. And our temperatures, I shouldn't say quite a bit, back down into the 50s. But for winter, wow, these are warm temperatures. Right now, 54 degrees in downtown Salt Lake City.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio,
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
The Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office says it's seen a massive uptick in complaints recently about ICE agents in the courthouse not identifying themselves as federal agents.
Part of the problem is ICE is showing up in court. They have no identifiers. They're in plain clothes. They're wearing masks. We don't know who these people are either. So it has become a problem.
Sheriff Rosie Rivera says it's causing more angst and fear for those using the justice system. The time is 1 o'clock on Thursday, February 26th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera will join me in just a few moments to break down the complaints and why local law enforcement agencies say their hands are tied. Also this hour, holding social media companies responsible for allowing pornographic deep fakes on their sites.
Addresses are growing inability to distinguish what's real and what's not with deep faked images and videos.
We will go in depth on the proposal and the response from industry insiders coming up in about 10 minutes. But first, our top stories. A 16-year-old boy has been found guilty of killing an 18-year-old in the Mount Olympus Trailhead parking lot in August 2024. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
We don't know the boy's name because he was a minor and taken to juvenile court, but his conviction was confirmed to me in a statement by the Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office. Police also told the Salt Lake County Council this week the boy, who was just 15 when he was arrested, will be sentenced for several crimes, including murder. Court documents say he and 4 other boys who police say had documented gang ties shot and killed 18-year-old Naod Welde while he was trying to hide from them in a car.
The other 4 boys involved are being charged as adults. Our top national story from ABC News. Today, Republicans and Democrats on the House Oversight Committee are talking to Hillary Clinton related to their investigation into Jeffrey Epstein. Before the deposition began, committee ranking member Robert Garcia said they want to get the most information they can from anyone they can.
Now that we're going to hear from former President Clinton, I hope that Chairman Comer and the Republicans will join us in demanding that the person who actually appears more times in the files than the former president, who we want to speak with, is President Donald Trump.
The Clintons have not been charged with any crimes. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton insists that she had no involvement with Epstein or his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. Your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 42 points, sitting at 49,524. S&P is down by 35. NASDAQ also down 267 points. Traffic and weather together, it's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
They're still working on trying to get this crash cleared northbound I-15 prior to Center Street in Provo. There are remnants of it still left on the left shoulder. Other than that, you're seeing I-15 running at posted speeds. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Looks like our next chance of rain, our next good chance of rain, really coming on Monday. There is a 30% chance on Sunday, but the chance increases to 50% on Monday. Right now, 54 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Any Hour Services can help you make sure your furnace keeps you warm this winter. Whether you need a tune-up or repair or a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio, so we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hi, this is Derek Overstreet, president of the New Millennium Group and co-host of Stop Working, Start Living with KSL News Radio. Can you imagine what your life would be like if you could retire 3 to 5 years earlier than you thought possible? The things you could do, the loved ones you could spend time with, the memories that you could create. That's what our team at the New Millennium Group does. We'll walk you through the entire process every step of the way. If you'd like to get a copy of the 5-step proprietary plan that will help you retire 3 to 5 years sooner than you thought possible, give us a shout right now. 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370 or utahsfinancialplanner.com. Listen, most of our listeners right now have a tax problem, not a money problem. There's not enough money in Social Security Medicare as it is. Let us show you how you can significantly reduce your taxes. That's 888-999-6370, 888-999-6370, or utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. The Salt Lake County Sheriff says a recent spike in complaints her office has received centers on ICE agents showing up inside courthouses without identifying themselves. Local officials saying their hands are tied and there's just not much they can do. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera joins me now live in the studio. And Eric, so What exactly are they seeing inside the courthouses?
Right, Maria. So, first and foremost, I just want to say, right, stories I've covered over the past year, right? I've heard from immigration attorneys, advocacy groups, describing these very run-ins at courthouses here in Utah. Okay, so I think this is interesting because now we're hearing from the Salt Lake County Sheriff Rosie Rivera sharing complaints, like you said, are flooding into her office as of late, this more recently. And she shared those examples at the last county meeting. And she's actually asking for protocols to be revisited because, for example, for her department, it's causing a lot of confusion and a lot of problems. I think that's why I brought this clip, right? I want everyone to hear this because she describes basically like 2 different complaints that her office has received, that they are investigating, and kind of describes that confusion that can happen.
Part of the problem is ICE is showing up in court. They have no identifiers. They're in plain clothes. They're wearing masks. We don't know who these people are either. So it has become a problem. We had one complaint about a deputy who handcuffed an individual. That did occur. Every complaint we investigate. With that situation, between the judge and the deputy, they felt it was the most safest way because the ICE agent had no identifiers or anything. They were in plain clothes in the courtroom. The deputy followed what the judge said and did place handcuffs on that individual and took him to the secure area. We have put a stop to that and explained to the courts that puts us in a bad situation, so that should not be occurring. We're not there to do ICE's job. However, we are asking that ICE work with us in a sense that at least let us know when you're there. The second complaint that I am aware of and we're investigating is one of our deputies was in the court. He heard a scuffle outside the courtroom. He went out. He thought somebody was getting beat up. He later found that it was ICE trying to arrest an individual. One of the ICE agents got into a verbal altercation with our deputy, and the deputy did use some foul language towards her. We are addressing that issue.
So you can see how confusing, though, that could be for local law enforcement, Eric. So what exactly does the sheriff want to happen?
So I think it's important to hear, that one part where she says, they're not there to do ICE's job first and foremost, but it is their job to make sure that basically the environment is a safe one, right, for everybody. I also did some digging, right? So some important kind of legal realities that I found hitting up some of our sources like a previous judge. There is no Utah law, first and foremost, banning courthouse arrests. That is true. And local agencies, kind of like she alluded to, can't interfere with federal enforcement. So that's a true statement. So once again, that's where the deputy's role becomes safety, right, not enforcement. And, what they're trying to do is basically manage the situation, not participate in it.
Okay, so this has to be also concerning in that doesn't it keep people from actually showing up at court?
Yeah, so that's kind of the biggest thing I'm hearing, from immigration attorneys on past stories, which is it's creating fear among the community to actually show up and do the things that they're supposed to do because they're fearful of this happening to them when they show up.
Okay. Well, Eric, appreciate your following up on this story. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That is KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera joining me in studio. Stay with us. We'll be back with more in just 60 seconds.
I love a day on the water with friends, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis sometimes holds me back. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy.
Teaching music is my passion, but my active psoriatic arthritis can limit me at times. Now I'm treating my joint symptoms with Skyrizi.
With Skyrizi, most people with plaque psoriasis saw 90% clearer skin at 4 months.
Or if you are an adult with active psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi helps you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
There's nothing like clearer skin.
There's nothing like better movement, and that means everything. Ask Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, it's up to you to be ready. Get a kit, make a plan, be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
State lawmakers recommending a bill that would hold platforms responsible for deep-fake intimate images posted on their sites. A committee on Utah's Capitol Hill debated the bill earlier today, and sponsor, Representative Ariel DeFay, says the legislation is aimed at protecting young people from the harms that are quickly emerging from AI.
The first thing the bill does is that it requires platforms to obtain consent if you're going to deep fake an intimate image of somebody else and publish a deep faked intimate image on a platform. We have worked closely with industry. I think we've talked to almost every large tech company, and we've tried to protect them from frivolous lawsuits and create a safe harbor for those who are good actors in this space, and those who are good actors and who are adhering to their policies are protected from such frivolous lawsuits. The second thing this bill does is it addresses our growing inability to distinguish what's real and what's not with deep faked images and videos. So what this requires is for platforms to disclose data provenance or metadata. And what that is it's the history of an image and how it's been altered. So you would just click on that like a little watermark, and you would see the history of that data, and you would know this has been altered in such and such a platform or not, and what you're seeing is real. That will help you to determine if you can trust an image or not. Finally, this does direct the director of the Department of Technology Services to work towards disclosing provenance data on government websites so that we can lead the way in industry.
A spokesperson for the Abundance Institute, which is a nonprofit which works to create space for emerging technologies to grow and thrive, spoke out against the legislation. Chief of Staff May Kennedy says the institute supports what the bill is trying to do, but not how it's trying to do it.
To start, we agree with the goal of the sponsor. Non-consensual intimate deep fakes are harmful and deserve strong consequences. Our concern is not with that goal, it's with the structure that this bill uses to accomplish that goal. It creates a state-level technical mandate for AI provenances. The internet doesn't stop with Utah borders. 50 different state standards will fragment compliance and discourage startups from operating here. Key terms like widely accepted standards, reasonable safeguards, and technical feasibility are vague. That means uncertainty, litigation risk, and higher compliance costs. Big incumbents will manage to comply, but smaller builders will avoid Utah, which hurts innovation and competition. This pushes government into regulating the technical architecture and presentation layer of online speech. This raises constitutional and preemption concerns, especially as AI continues to develop. The content provenance provisions risk create a liar's dividend where fake imagery with faked provenance data is treated as genuine and elevated by distributors as well. A better pathway forward is to align with federal law, punish bad actors directly, and support voluntary open standards rather than creating a Utah-specific concern.
Nathan Trail with the Information Technology Council also urged lawmakers to give the industry more time to implement these changes.
They are participating in good faith, and the remaining requested changes are reasonable technical clarifications intended to improve the bill's workability and its effectiveness. These include aligning definitions with technical standards, ensuring that technical requirements that do not exist today at scale are not mandated before they can be complied with, and ironing out safe harbor requirements within the bill. We appreciate the delayed implementation date. It is especially important that statutory language governing rapidly evolving technologies be carefully calibrated to ensure that the state can continue to lead on innovation rather than unintentionally constrain it. These proposed revisions are consistent with approaches being considered in other states and are intended to align with emerging federal frameworks. We respectfully request additional time to continue working with stakeholders and legislatures to ensure that this bill ultimately supports rather than impedes technological innovations in Utah.
The bill passed the committee, but some members ask that it be refined before final passage. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton facing a congressional committee today over her alleged connections to Jeffrey Epstein. But the meeting unexpectedly cut short for a period of time due to a leaked photo. More on that and the new claims of missing documents in the Epstein files coming up next. But first, it's traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Direct deposit gets you $300. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Overall, things are running smoothly on I-15 as well as the Belt Route. They're still working on trying to get this crash cleared, though. This is approaching Center Street in Provo, northbound I-15, still off to the left shoulder. Looking for a dose of love, laughter, and a little bit of magic? Try out a bubbly romantic comedy at the Opera. Donizetti's The Elixir of Love, March 7th through the 15th at the Capitol Theater. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
If you've been weighing your options when it comes to weight loss, you're still not sure, you want to make a decision quickly, especially if you are considering slcfatloss.com, because their resolution reset is about to come to an end. You have until the last day of February to sign up, or at least call and get a consultation, and you will save $200. And there's a lot to consider. I mean, a lot of people are taking these GLP-1 injections for weight loss, but there are a lot of things you have to ask yourself. I mean, are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 a year and stay on this medication long term to maintain the results? I went the easy route. I'm going to tell you, with SLC Fat Loss, I've lost more than 40 pounds. It is a doctor-developed program. It allows people to lose 20 to 40 pounds in just 60 days safely, and you're losing fat. You're not losing muscle. There are no injections, and it's just really resetting your metabolism, controlling your hunger and cravings naturally, and that helps you burn that body fat, not muscle. Again, if you want to take advantage of the resolution reset, just get a hold of SLC Fat Loss. Do it at slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com, slcfatloss.com.
The Salt Lake Chamber is Utah's voice for business. Okay, that sounds great, but what does it really mean? Well, as Utah's largest and longest-standing business association, they support and champion community prosperity throughout the state. And if you're in business, well, that's a very good thing for you. Be sure to listen to the Chamber's Speaking on Business, weekdays at 7:20, 11:55, and 5:20 p.m. on KSL News Radio.
Hi, it's Tori DeVito. In every family, small conversations can make a big impact, like when my dad shared his experiences as an alcoholic. Your honesty about that part of your life gave me a sense of integrity that I wanted to uphold in my own life.
I wanted you to know, from someone who's been in recovery more than 30 years now, that hard work is what creates success, not alcohol or other drugs. I said it a lot, and I'm glad you took it to heart.
Talk, they hear you. For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
One Kind Act a Day is a program from the Semnani Family Foundation. One Kind Act a Day seeks to create kinder communities by inspiring daily acts of deliberate kindness. Their work includes programs in schools, businesses, communities, faith groups, and prisons where they help enhance the culture of kindness and increase a sense of community. The world always needs more kindness. No matter what our background or beliefs are, kindness towards others and ourselves is something that everyone can get behind. Kindness can be big or small, but the ripple effect can reach out in ways that we don't even realize. Wouldn't life be better if we were all a little more kind? You can do your part by starting today. All it takes is one kind act a day. Find out more and take the pledge of kindness at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
You are listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Controversy on the Epstein files continues today as Bill and Hillary Clinton face depositions before a House Oversight Committee. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton faced the closed-door deposition today, but the meeting was unexpectedly paused for a time. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
We're hearing from an advisor to the Clintons who just walked out of the room and said the deposition was stopped. It was paused after it appears a picture was leaked from inside the room. We do know that there is a picture circulating online. It appears to show Hillary Clinton sitting at a square table alongside her lawyers and the lawmakers as well. So any picture being released from inside the room, that is against committee rules.
The photo in question was posted by conservative social media influencer Benny Johnson, who claimed it was provided by Republican Representative Lauren Boebert. Boebert posting on social media that the influencer did nothing wrong. After a short recess, the closed-door deposition continued. Ahead of today's meeting, Mrs. Clinton posted a copy of her opening statement. In it, she said the committee had justified its subpoena based on the assumption that she had info regarding the criminal activities of Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. She went on to say, "Let me be clear as I can. I do not." Those are her words. "Let me be as clear as I can. I do not." Former President Bill Clinton is still expected to sit for his deposition tomorrow. The controversy over the Epstein documents extends to the files themselves as more investigating reveals serious gaps in the files that have actually been released, and a concern that there are more files yet to be discovered. The Department of Justice has released more than 3.5 million documents, which had been collected as evidence against Jeffrey Epstein and his associates on sex trafficking activities. The documents collected over years by dozens of government agencies. Now ABC News has learned of many more documents that Epstein supposedly hid during those investigations into his criminal activity. ABC's Peter Haralambous explains.
The great paradox of this story is that as we see more of these documents, these 3 million recently released by the Department of Justice, we're learning more about what we don't have in our possession, that documents that were not released or documents that federal investigators somehow never obtained. Just days before Jeffrey Epstein's home was searched by the Palm Beach Police Department, he hired a private investigator to go in and take multiple computers from his property, multiple files from his property, and basically take them into his possession so that investigators could not find them. He was able to successfully, effectively hide these documents for investigators during that critical 3-year period in the late 2000s when he was under investigation and ultimately got that lenient plea deal that allowed him to avoid a lengthy prison sentence. Interestingly enough, even after federal prosecutors in New York opened up a new investigation, they never actually found these documents. They're largely still missing, hiding somewhere in the world, and kind of leaving this huge gap, in a way, in our understanding. And that we understand that these were dozens of address books, 3 different computers in his home, including at least one computer that was connected to his surveillance system. And this, in a way, kind of shows part of the reason why Epstein was able to evade justice for so long.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how on earth did they not gather all the files during the multi-year investigation? And now that Epstein is dead, is there any hope of finding those missing documents?
And they did search for them. You know, in Florida, prosecutors issued subpoenas to try to find these documents. Epstein's lawyers intervened to delay this process. And at the end of the day, when his plea deal was reached, that issue kind of went away. When survivors of Epstein began with civil litigation, Epstein's lawyers scrambled again to make sure those documents would not be disclosed. At one point, Epstein was paying for a storage unit to store those materials. And even today, it's a bit of a mystery where those documents went. We know, for example, the serial numbers of the computers, and you can look into the DOJ's database online and see that a lot of these materials were never actually in the federal government's possession, that there's this period of time where his computer and his address books, we just don't know what was going on there.
Democrats have also pointed out testimony from alleged survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, some of whom claim to have been assaulted by President Trump long before he was president. But those specific documents haven't been released either. So many are wondering if either the testimony was never shared or if more documents are being hidden. Representative Robert Garcia has been particularly vocal about these documents.
This was honestly one of the bombshells, if anything, that came out of these files, and that there was a woman, according to Garcia, who accused Donald Trump of sexual abuse when she was a minor. This was an incident that she said happened in the early 1980s, and that she actually met with federal investigators multiple times. We know that there's an index of all of these witness interviews that were included in the public release of documents. And when you look at that particular woman's files, you can see that the FBI met with her on at least 4 occasions. They generated what are called 302 reports to kind of summarize what happened. There were notes from those conversations. And within the actual DOJ library of Epstein documents, only one of those 302s was released, suggesting that at the end of the day, the DOJ withheld 3 FBI reports and notes of their meeting with this woman who accused the president of abuse.
So why not release those files?
That's really the big question here, because at the end of the day, there are few reasons why under the Epstein Transparency Act you can withhold these kind of documents. They can claim some kind of privilege. They can say that they include explicit material, that the victim information in there would kind of expose victims in a sensitive way. If documents are duplicative, they could claim to withhold them. But what's interesting here is that it's not like if you look at the Epstein files, you can find these notes, but they're just heavily redacted. They just don't exist in the Epstein files. And when Representative Garcia actually went to the Department of Justice to try to see these files, he said he was able to confirm that the person whose documents were missing was the same person who accused the president of abuse, but that he couldn't even see them in the unredacted versions, that they're being withheld even to lawmakers who can see the full unredacted Epstein file.
The Department of Justice has responded to those questions, saying it's possible some documents were improperly tagged, preventing them from being released initially. The DOJ says they'll investigate and re-review the files to ensure that all documents required to be released by Congress have actually been released. The threat of war with Iran remains high this afternoon. Military strikes could be just days away if negotiations over Iran's nuclear program don't produce results the Trump administration wants. News Nation's Trevor Shirley is in Washington with the latest on the discussions, and he says a major sticking point continues to be nuclear enrichment. As the White House says, Iran poses a direct threat to the U.S. and its allies.
Top White House and Iranian negotiators are in Geneva, hoping to avoid another Middle East war. Secretary of State Marco Rubio laying out their goals Wednesday night.
The negotiations tomorrow and the talks tomorrow will be largely focused on the nuclear program. And we hope progress can be made, because that's the president's preference, to make progress on the diplomatic front.
Yet at the same time, positioning Iran as an existential threat.
That Iran poses a very grave threat to the United States and has for a very long time. Iran possesses a very large number of ballistic missiles.
The U.S. wants Iran to end all nuclear enrichment. Iran denies it wants a nuclear bomb, saying it needs low-level enrichment for medical and research reasons.
I will never allow the world's #1 sponsor of terror, which they are by far, to have a nuclear weapon.
With a massive Middle East military buildup, the U.S. could strike Iran soon, an option President Donald Trump hasn't ruled out if today's talks fail.
And no nation should ever doubt America's resolve. We have the most powerful military on earth.
But reports say top military leaders have warned the U.S. could get stuck in a long conflict, also raising concerns about low stockpiles of key weapons, used up primarily by Israel and Ukraine. The White House denies those reports.
The administration should come clean and tell the American people their goals.
This week, Democrats arguing the White House hasn't made a strong enough case for a military strike on Iran.
This is an extraordinarily serious time, serious moment in the Middle East, serious moment for America.
A bipartisan war powers resolution is set for a vote next week, which could limit the president's ability to use the military against Iran. That measure, though, is not expected to pass. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
The administration says restarting the talks is a positive step, but didn't say anything about any specific breakthroughs. It's 1:30 midday at KSL News Radio. I'm Maria Shilaos. Some of the stories we are watching this hour. As the beauty industry revamps or ramps up their advertising for children, how might it affect long-term self-image? We'll chat with a licensed therapist. A proposal to give animals who are victims of abuse a better chance at a new life. The bill's sponsor will join us live. And KSL traffic. Michelle?
Crews working on a crash at 4500 South, 7th East. Maria?
Looking at the forecast for the Wasatch Front, diminishing showers at least for the next day or so. And then those showers will start to creep back into our forecast by the end of the weekend. Looks like our best chance of showers will come on Monday. It's 1:30.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The deposition of Hillary Clinton has resumed after a brief pause due to a leaked photo in the House Oversight Committee's closed-door session. Former President Bill Clinton will be deposed tomorrow in the House's probe into Jeffrey Epstein. ABC's Rachel Scott is in Chappaqua, New York.
A photo from Congresswoman Lauren Boebert was shared to a conservative influencer who then posted that photo on social media. Again, this advisor said that this was a violation of the chamber and the House rules that was laid out in the beginning of the deposition. And so the deposition moved off the record, and so that lawmakers and Clinton could discuss the rules and everything going forward before resuming, and then Democrats picking up eventually with the questioning inside.
In Geneva, Switzerland, talks on a nuclear deal resumed between the U.S. and Iran today, the U.S. pushing for a diplomatic solution, at the same time ramping up military forces in the Middle East. Iran's foreign minister signaling that progress was made. On Wall Street, stocks are mixed. This is ABC News.
KSL's top local story, a Utah lawmaker wants to prevent unauthorized deep-fake intimate images. Margaret Bussey is the executive director for the Utah Department of Commerce.
When people don't know whether images are fake or not, it can destroy trust.
Representative Ariel DeFay's bill would make host platforms responsible for making sure any intimate deepfake images or videos have the approval of the person being shown. The bill would also require deepfakes to show what's been altered so people will know that it has been altered. Other local stories KSL is following. Utah lawmakers are looking to create a fund that will specifically be used to repair and restore damaged natural and historic sites and to promote a culture of conservation. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis has more.
There needs to be a change in the culture, says bill sponsor Representative Stuart Barlow, where people feel more integrity about protecting and preserving our historic sites and natural resources in the state. Under his bill, a fund would be created to repair vandalized or destroyed sites and educate the public on other historic places. That fund would be created using fines paid by those who have been caught defacing these sites.
Part of the bill would also be used to create a program similar to the DNR's Help Stop Poaching program, where someone can be rewarded for catching and reporting on those they see defacing these sites. Taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by 41 points, sitting at 49,524, but the S&P and the NASDAQ both down. S&P is down by 35, the NASDAQ down by 267 points. Traffic and weather, it's brought to you by UCCU, up to $500 for loan transfers. Love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
We're still running at posted speeds, Maria, on I-15 as well as the Belt Route. Still working on this crash, though. This is in Murray, 4500 South, 7th East. Looks like they're getting close to having this completely opened up, but it has been hampering traffic. Michelle Rowan, the KSL Traffic Center.
We are headed for a high of 58 degrees today and into the 60s then for the weekend, 53 degrees at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Every day here in Utah, people turn to KSL News Radio for one simple reason: trust. Trust for our reporters, hosts, our coverage, and trust in the businesses heard right here. I've met so many of our listeners over the years, and they'll tell you KSL is part of their daily routine, in the car, at work, at home. And when they hear your business here, it carries the weight of that trust. It isn't just another ad. It's a recommendation coming from a reliable source. When you advertise on KSL News Radio, you reach a loyal, highly engaged audience who listens intentionally. They show up for breaking news, accurate information, and meaningful conversations. And because of that connection, they respond. And when you pair our on-air credibility with digital tools like display advertising, social media, streaming audio, search, geo-targeting, and retargeting, you get a full funnel strategy that works and reaches the right people at the right time. Get marketing that truly moves the needle. Partner with the voice Utah trusts. KSL. Learn more at kslnewsradio.com/advertise.
Attention Jazz Nation. We know you've been waiting on the edge of your seat, and the time has finally arrived. All tickets are available now. Let's go! Your favorite players will be back on the court, bringing the energy all season long. Whether you're looking for season tickets, mini plans, or single game matchups, there's a perfect option for every kind of fan. Show up loud and proud at Delta Center this season. Don't miss your chance to be part of the action. Buy your tickets today at utahjazz.com.
You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Just how young is too young for kids to wear makeup? I want to know what you think. Text me right now at 57500. We also asked the question on our KSL News Radio Facebook page, and we're going to share some of those comments in just a few minutes. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because more and more companies are targeting children with makeup products, and it's prompting concern from parenting experts. Manufacturers of makeup for young children insist that they prioritize safety, but some medical experts and parents say early exposure to skincare regimens could foster a premature obsession with physical appearance. ABC's Hannah Battah has more.
The debate over how young is too young for makeup. According to the Wall Street Journal, cosmetic companies are increasingly marketing their products to children born after 2010. But it's not just young teenagers turning to makeup. It's kids, 6 years old or younger. Brands such as Clean Naturals, which sells low pigment makeup aimed at children between 5 and 7 years old, says they've seen significant growth since 2024.
Again, we want to hear what you think. Licensed marriage and family therapist Lauren Barnes tells me that this could be concerning for some girls, but we need to keep it in perspective. She says, don't forget, young girls have been trying on their mom's lipstick for a long time.
I have concerns, and some of it also I think is a little more nuanced. And I'm like, this has been happening for a long time. I think concerning could be where are these girls and where are all kids getting their sense of identity, right? The big concern related to body image comes in, especially around ages like 5 to 7. The research shows we're trying to figure out, who am I? What's my identity? What is important? What do other people praise? And so if it was only appearance, or if appearance was the central focus, that could be a little difficult to figure out, okay, what am I beyond this? So that's something to watch and be concerned about. I think the other side of that is makeup products and appearance-related products have been around for a long time and play a really important part in most cultures throughout the world. And sometimes makeup products are used as a way symbolically related to religion or culture or traditions, rituals. And so we just have to be mindful of what we're doing and how we're marketing things like that.
Yeah, I was wondering if this was more about messaging. As you mentioned, young girls have been trying on their mom's lipstick for a long time, or, maybe trying makeup, mascara before their parents really want them to. But is it more about the messaging and the message we're sending to these young girls?
Yeah, we'd have to be careful about what messaging is coming across and how strong that messaging is, right? Is this something that we get to do and it's for fun? I would really not like the message to be your only worth or your identity comes from how you look. And we know that when people internalize that, when they believe appearance is one of the only indicators or the only correlates to their identity, they can really struggle later throughout their life. So the messaging needs to be really carefully examined.
Yeah, I think social media has made life more difficult for most people, and mainly women, because you see all the beautiful people and how perfect they are a lot of times. So I think that has already begun, like the messaging is already not the best out there already. So is this just going to add to that?
It could add to that, and it depends how people are seeing it and if there are conversations around it, right? We know that the research with social media use and exposure is a little more nuanced. Our brains want to say it's all good or it's all bad. That's normal for our brains to want to do that. And we know that some kids and adults utilize social media primarily in ways to connect with others. And we're all going to be exposed at some point to what the research would refer to as the thin ideal, things that would maybe be altered, right? We've had a lot of AI things happen recently. So we have to be careful about our use and make sure we're talking about it and having conversations with kids. So even something as simple as, oh, I see that grandma bought you this lipstick. What do you think about it? When do you want to use it? And kind of following our children's lead, right? If we get really reactive to, grandma just brought you some makeup, grandma, how dare you? the kid is going to pick up on that, right? And the other people around us. So we kind of have to figure out, okay, what meaning do I as the adult want to put on this? And what conversations am I going to initiate and perpetuate with the kids?
So what would you like those conversations to look like?
I think it's really important to know our kids. I think most of us as parents have figured out each of our kids is a little different, and figuring out how we need to respond to them and approach with curiosity, right? 2 of my kids could receive the same gift, and the meaning that they get from that gift would be really different. So being aware of when our biases or strong feelings are getting in the way, come in with curiosity and be willing to lead and say, okay, this is awesome. What's the lipstick mean to you? What is this? Like you said, girls, I remember as a little girl watching my mom doing her makeup and thinking this is the coolest thing ever. I loved when she let me do my makeup by her, or we got to share. And that's relationship building that stays with you forever. And it wasn't in a way like, oh, Lauren, you need to wear this so you look beautiful because your meaning only comes from being beautiful. It was, this is a fun way that we can connect and enjoy this feminine expression in our culture and grow our relationship mother-daughter.
Lauren Barnes is a licensed marriage and family therapist and a professor at BYU. So what do you think? How old should children be before they use makeup? You can text me your thoughts at 57500. We asked this question on the KSL News Radio Facebook page, and we saw a mix of answers. So here we go. Marley says she feels like 12 or 13 is when she would start to let her daughter wear a little bit of makeup, but, pretty limited. Constance says 15 and up if needed. Makeup is designed to cover flaws and imperfections to enhance natural beauty. At 16, young girls are so beautiful and youthful, there isn't really a need, maybe more of a want. Alan says when the child's parents decide they're old enough to start wearing makeup. Christina says, my girls started playing with makeup around 7, like most. At 12, my oldest was allowed eyeliner, mascara, lip glosses. At 13, she can now wear a full face if she wants. It's whatever makes her feel beautiful in her own skin. Now, she's aware that she doesn't need it, and she's confident with or without, but doing makeup is an art form for her, and she's not going to deny her that self-expression. Raylene says it depends if they are in activities that require it for stage, of course, like cheerleaders, all sorts of things, performance type things require makeup. But in general, she thinks teens are okay as long as someone shows them the proper way. Oh man, I look back at how I was wearing makeup when I was a teenager and I was not doing a good job. Lisa Marie says, I don't think there's an age, but I do think it's super important to talk about body image, discuss why someone wants to wear makeup, and to be a safe place to express oneself in healthy and adventurous ways. Char says at puberty, that's when the skincare should begin. And then we have received a couple of texts as well. This one says, my daughter was in dance at the age of 6, so she was always in makeup, but didn't start wearing it on a regular basis until she was 12. Next person says, I don't think kids should be using makeup really at all. They think covering flaws is an easy way to give yourself a complex. They say if they want to use makeup, I would say like high school would be okay, but that's mostly just a social thing to keep up with all their peers. And I appreciate all of your texts. Thanks for sending me your thoughts. A lot of interesting thoughts there. Thanks for chiming in. Now, if anything goes to show the importance of having these kinds of conversations with kids, there might not be a golden answer for this. So it's important to make sure the dialogue is open between parents and their children. Midday continues in just 60 seconds.
Jackson Hewitt knows taxes are complicated, and with multiple jobs and tax forms, they're like Sonata complicated. Our no surprise pricing keeps things simple. Jackson Hewitt does your taxes for only $149 or less. And since we know all the new tax codes, you could get thousands back. So what are you waiting for? Hurry. File with Jackson Hewitt today for only $149 or less, guaranteed. Limited time offer for new clients on federal returns. Participating locations only. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com/149.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Get 5 quarts of Valvoline Full Synthetic Motor Oil and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $36.99. Limit supply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Man, I've been taught to begin with the end in mind. And when it comes to something like weight loss, that's really, really important because some weight loss plans have no end. It's like another refill or another bill or another year. But soda weight loss has a finish line.
You learn it once, you use it forever. And I'm all about health. I mean, I don't want to have my body become addicted to another drug that I have to take forever in order to be healthy. I want the opposite of that. I want fewer medications. I want my body to learn how to do this on its own and be strong.
For so many weight loss drugs, you have to just take them forever in order to maintain that feeling when you cross the finish line. Yeah. When I hit 70 pounds that I let go of in 5 months, what an amazing feeling. And it was amazing to know I could just go forward from this point.
You can talk to a nutritionist and ask all your questions at 866-800-SODA.
Or you can go to sotaweightloss.com. That's SOTA weightloss.com. Because it's soda. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime.
Eye on the Hill 2026. Special coverage on KSL News Radio.
Over the years, you've probably heard stories here on KSL News Radio of animal abuse. But in instances where the abuse happens and the animal doesn't die, what happens to that animal after their owner is arrested and charged? In many cases, those animals face euthanasia or years of just sitting alone in a shelter. State Representative Rona Manga proposes a change to that. It's House Bill 87, affectionately known as Biscuits Bill. Representative Manga joins me now on Midday. Thanks for being with me.
Thanks for having me.
So before we talk about your bill, let's help us understand what happens now and, the problem that it's creating.
Yeah, right now when an animal is seized in an animal cruelty case or an abuse case, it actually becomes property of the state. And so that animal is taken to the animal shelters. The issue is these cases go on for months or even years. It's costly to taxpayers. It's a burden on the shelters that are already overcrowded throughout the state. And it's also not great for the animal's well-being. And so that's what happens right now. What this bill currently does is it would make sure that there's a speedy process and that there are options for animals to go to maybe the Humane Society or to a family member who can take care of the animal. It just makes it so that there's options so animals aren't sitting in shelters for months at a time.
Representative, how big a problem is this?
I've talked with Salt Lake County Animal Services. I've also had conversations with Weber County Animal Services. And so there's a pattern that we're seeing throughout the state where shelters just can't handle the capacity. And so we just need options to ensure that we're prioritizing the shelter's needs, taxpayer dollars, and also the care and needs of our animals.
The bill is nicknamed Biscuits Bill. Who is Biscuit?
Biscuit's the sweetest dog. I just had Biscuit up here at the Capitol a couple hours ago with its new owner, but Biscuit sat in Salt Lake County Animal Services for over 3 years. And by the time the case was finally closed and adjudicated, Biscuit was finally able to be adopted out. The issue we had is because Biscuit had been sitting behind a cage for over 3 years, Biscuit wasn't necessarily ready to be out in the public or with an owner. And so that took time for the animal shelter to get Biscuit ready and for Biscuit's new family. And again, I saw Biscuit today, and we still can't get very close to Biscuit because being behind a cage for that long really affects your mental well-being.
Mm-hmm. There are a few bills on Capitol Hill this year that would affect animals' lives. Tell us what you would like our listeners to know or understand about these issues and animal abuse.
Animal abuse is something that we should all be aware of, and this bill just finds a very simple solution so that in the case of animal abuse, there are options for animals to be adopted out or fostered out to good families who want to care for these animals and not abuse them. And so that's all we're trying to do is find a solution to a sad problem that we have.
Representative, we appreciate your time. Thanks for being with me.
Of course. Thanks for having me. Take care.
You too. Representative Rona Maga joining us live on the KSL Newsline. Living like the Jetsons could be here in time for the 2028 Summer Games in Los Angeles. Really? The latest on the Uber air taxi coming up after the break. But first, let's check the actual roads and its traffic on KSL News Radio. It's brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Michelle?
Freeways are running at freeway speeds right now, and the crash that was in Murray, 4500 South, 7th East, that is cleared nicely. The Good Feet store supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me. And believe it or not, they really do make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for talking and preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for never giving up and always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for letting me know what you expect, so I can try to meet your expectations.
Thank you for talking.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Some of the most meaningful jewelry you own isn't new, it's inherited. A ring from a grandmother, a necklace tucked away in a drawer, pieces full of memories, but no longer your style. Duke's Jeweler specializes in reimagining family heirlooms into custom pieces you'll actually wear and love. Duke's on-site jewelers and designers work with you one-on-one to honor the original story while creating something fresh, modern, and uniquely yours. From resetting diamonds into new engagement rings to transforming multiple heirloom pieces into one stunning design, every project is crafted with care, precision, and intention. Don't let meaningful jewelry sit unused. Let it live on beautifully. Visit Duke's Jewelers on Main Street in Springville or online at dukesjewelers.com. Duke's Jewelers, where old stories become new treasures. dukesjewelers.com.
Come on, the meeting's already started.
Sometimes it's important.
Last call, boarding gate number 9.
Sometimes it's urgent.
Prep for alarm.
Sometimes it's vital. Hospital treatment within 1 hour of a stroke can prevent lifelong disability. If you notice someone experiencing sudden weakness on one side or having a problem speaking, walking, or seeing, call 911 fast. Stroke. Know the signs. Act in time. A message from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke.
With affordable tuition, personal support, and career services, Salt Lake Community College is empowering students to shape Utah's future.
I'm an occupational therapy practitioner.
I'm an electrical engineer.
And I'm in comms, PR, and marketing.
And I'm a Salt Lake Community College alum.
A better Utah starts with a better education. SLCC provides opportunities to students who become alumni that shape Utah's future. See how we're investing in Utah's future at slcc.edu/community.
This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Uber is planning to fly the friendly skies in Dubai soon. Uber Air will launch later this year with an electric propeller aircraft. Company hopes to get FAA approval to bring the air taxis to the U.S. in time for the Los Angeles Olympics in 2028. Here's ABC's Alex Perche talking about it with transportation correspondent Sam Sweeney.
Uber says that its air taxi service is expected to hit the market in Dubai later this year. And the new program will allow users to book air taxis through the Uber app the same way you book a car. So for more on this, I want to bring in ABC's transportation reporter, Sam Sweeney. And Sam, this sounds like the Jetsons on steroids. But break down, I mean, how is this going to work?
The future's here. They've been working on this for years, and there's a number of different companies that are doing it. And the goal is to get these and really change the way we travel. They are electric. Think of a drone that you would fly around, you see a kid flying or whatnot, but it's life-size, and it's electric. Right now, they're going to use pilots when they launch them in Dubai, but the goal is to then make them autonomous, so they would fly by themselves. Think you land in New York City at Newark or JFK, you walk off your plane, you walk to the next gate, you get on one of these air taxis, and it brings you to Lower Manhattan, and you're there in 6 or 7 minutes.
Wow.
And they do it all for the price of an Uber Black.
Well, and so that's what I was going to ask you. So pricing here, we're talking about something comparable to an Uber Black.
Eventually, that's what they plan to get to. But of course, when it's first rolled out, it's going to be a little bit more expensive until they can scale it. And it's going to launch in Dubai is the goal for this, for Uber Air. But again, there are a number of different companies that are working to get these certified. And the FAA is in the final stages of this certification process. But once it happens, you will see them launch first in New York and LA. They hope to be using them for the 2028 Olympics. Imagine getting around Los Angeles much faster. But for all of us, once they do go mainstream, think about if you live in a rural area and you need medical care and you can call for this flying drone to come pick you up and bring you to the hospital. If you live farther out in the suburbs, every morning you take this air taxi into the city and you're there in 10 minutes versus an hour.
Would you take one of these taxis? If they come to the U.S. in time for the Los Angeles Summer Games in a few years, it might be worth it. The traffic there is worse than our traffic. Now, everyone who's ever driven in it knows exactly how those freeways can be a nightmare. So flying the skies might be pretty nice. The Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square continuing their tour in Brazil right now. On a stop in Sao Paulo, the choir and orchestra got a special visit from the Reverend Dr. Amos Brown, pastor emeritus of the Third Baptist Church in San Francisco. He says the choir had a profound effect on him and his life, even as a young boy in Mississippi who was not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Every Sunday morning, it was a ritual that the Brown family would listen to the Wings Over Jordan choir from Cleveland, Ohio, on CBS. And that ritual was made complete with listening to the Tabernacle Choir from Salt Lake City, beneath the hills. And I long remember that rich, rewarding, and most inclusive experience, so that I could not ever be bitter, and as they say in Mississippi, never tinache, so small as to look down on another human being, because we all learn through music that we were all children of God in God's kingdom.
Reverend Dr. Brown says he especially took comfort in the unifying words of the hymn, "Come, Come Ye Saints." He says the word spoke to him as a black man, saying it described the experience of black Americans as well as the early pioneers.
Come, come, ye saints. No toil nor labor fear, though hard to you this journey may appear. And I just love that verse that goes on to say, gird up your loins, fresh courage take. Our God will never us forsake.
Reverend Dr. Amos Brown, pastor emeritus of the Third Baptist Church in San Francisco, speaking to the Tabernacle Choir and Orchestra at Temple Square as they continue their tour through Brazil. KSL 5 TV's Dan Rascone has been traveling with the choir, and we'll have a closer look at the trip coming up on KSL 5 News at 6 o'clock.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
As a $3.5 billion investment takes shape on Salt Lake City's west side, the developers behind the Power District are announcing a major investment towards the Jordan River.
The Larry H. Miller Company will join community leaders to celebrate the launch of a new plan that revitalizes a 1-mile section of the river, utilizing a world-renowned partner in the process. It comes as Westside communities have voiced concern over the future of the river due to the Power District.
The time is 2 o'clock on Thursday, February 26th. It's midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Coming up, the announcement set to be made in just a few minutes. We'll bring it to you live. Also this hour,
what we know is just what the Cubans have told us, which means that we probably need to disregard about 99% of that.
one day after a deadly strike on a Florida boat by Cuba, so many unanswered questions. We'll get info on what we do know and what still needs to be investigated. But first, our top stories. A 16-year-old boy has been convicted of murder in connection to a fatal shooting at the Mount Olympus trailhead in 2024. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
The boy was just one of 5 people arrested in connection to the shooting of 18-year-old Naad Welday in August 2024. The boy was just 15 at the time of his arrest. The Salt Lake County District Attorney's Office confirmed to me in a statement the boy went to trial and was found guilty of murder, and Salt Lake County Sheriff Rosie Rivera spoke about his conviction at this week's Salt Lake County Council meeting. She said the boy
will be sentenced for murder and aggravated assault and a felony discharge of a firearm.
Court documents say the boy and 4 others who had documented gang ties attacked Welday and his friends in the Mount Olympus trailhead parking lot. Welday was shot and died while trying to hide in a car. The 4 other suspects, who were between the ages of 16 and 20 at the time of their arrests, are being charged as adults. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story from ABC News. Talks are resuming in Geneva between the U.S. and Iran today. The two sides are discussing Iran's nuclear program and what steps Iran would take to ensure that it won't develop a nuclear weapon. ABC News contributor, retired general and former NATO Supreme Allied Commander Wesley Clark says it's not just Iran's nuclear weapons that are concerning, but also Iran's ballistic missile capabilities.
First of all, the ballistic missiles they used against Israel at the end of the June campaign actually struck targets. So they had some terminal guidance. Secondly, Iran's trying to produce longer-range missiles that could threaten U.S. facilities in Europe or even the United States itself.
Military strikes could be just days away if negotiations over Iran's nuclear program don't produce results the Trump administration wants. We do have breaking news here on Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. The Larry H. Miller Company is making a major announcement right now dealing with the future of the Jordan River. The announcement happening near the site of the Power District, a massive sports, entertainment, business, and housing district now under construction on Salt Lake City's west side. Let's listen in for a moment. And again, the Larry H. Miller Company is set to make a major announcement right now dealing with the Jordan River. They're still getting settled. And there is quite a crowd there. While they are getting settled, why don't we go ahead and get a check of our traffic? Traffic and weather is brought to you by UCCU. Earn 4.44% on savings at uccu.com. Michelle, what's happening on the roads?
The conditions are in great shape, Maria. Posted speeds are running smoothly. I-15, the Belt Route, as well as I-80 Parley's Canyon. About KSL travel time, 16 minutes from Draper to downtown. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
And I think we are set at the podium now. Let's hear the announcement.